One of the great things about education is there's just an untold number of possibilities that one can pursue. I'm Joaquin Tamayo, and I serve as Senior Advisor to Deputy Secretary Cynthia Martin at the U.S. Department of Education. There are roles in the private sector, in philanthropy, in government, that really do impact education. So I've been so fortunate in my career to be able to have experience across a number of different aspects of our education system. I'm the son of a public school teacher. My mom has been teaching in Los Angeles since 1981 as primarily a middle school teacher in the Los Angeles Unified School District, where I got my start as a high school teacher. But I didn't always want to be a teacher. In fact, I grew up believing very strongly that I was going to become a lawyer. I took the LSAT, went through all the steps, but before I actually applied to law school, had a really clarifying conversation with a trusted mentor about what I really wanted to do and the impact that I really wanted to have, and came to realize that it wasn't law, and in fact, education was my true calling. And really found that I had not just a passion for education, but that's where I really found my voice. After teaching for a handful of years and just really wondered, what more I might be able to do, what other opportunities there might be within the education context to, do bigger and more impactful things for students. That led me to an organization called New Leaders for New Schools, at the time now called New Leaders, which was sourcing talent from all across the country, educators, primarily, classroom teachers, who are interested in having that bigger impact, and particularly as school administrators. I'm somebody who grew up going to relatively small schools in my own upbringing, and understood the power of a small learning community and the real strong role that relationships have. That intrigued me, and so I went about the process this time in New York City, and had the great fortune and privilege of being able to found a new small school in the fall of 2005 in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, called the Urban Assembly Academy of Government and Law. I brought my own passion for politics, sort of a public affairs policy nerd, and have been for a very long time, and brought what I thought I could uniquely bring to any number of students in terms of a focus on government and law to their regular high school experience. Something that I think most Americans either don't know or don't perhaps truly appreciate is that the federal government, where I work now, contributes about 10% of all education funding that is expended annually in this country. And I'm talking about the K-12 system, the pre-K to 12 system. Only 10%. The other 90% of education funding, and frankly, the other 90% of policies and responsibilities for making sure kids get what they need and in the way that they need it to learn and to thrive, that responsibility and that power is vested to states. It's vested to local school districts. It's vested into local schools, into communities, and into the hands of parents, and to the students themselves. Leadership matters, and it's leadership at every single level of the system, not just leadership in one space or at the top. You need leaders at every single level of the system, and you need leaders helping all of their constituents, including our young people, being able to see themselves as leaders, being able to know what leadership qualities they can bring to the table, because leadership matters up and down the line, not just at the federal level, and most importantly, at the level of students. One of the things that I really love about my current role is the opportunity to engage in partnerships. And so one of those partnerships that I've been able to cultivate resulted in the creation of what we call the National Partnership for Student Success, responding to President Biden's call for 250,000 additional adults all across the country to step up as tutors, as mentors, and in other student support roles in our schools so that we could ensure that all of our students, particularly those who were most harmed and impacted by the pandemic, try to create context for seeds everywhere to not just get planted, but to be able to grow and to cultivate those seeds. But we can't do it without actual human beings coming into our schools, staying in our schools, seeing themselves as fully committed to those environments. And got to make sure that I step up to my responsibility as a system leader so that they can do what they need to do to support kids, to take care of themselves as professionals, and to feel really proud of what they do every single day as educators in this country.